ranking them at all the way down at 28th, and that's the TCU Horned Frogs. Let's get funky like a monkey fresh. Keep Fort Worth funky.
I think they're ranked rightfully so, maybe a little even too high. It's tough. This team won 7 games by 8 points or less. You're losing Max Duggan, Heisman Trophy candidate, finalist, Quentin Johnson, Darius Davis, Kendre Millar, Avila, the offensive lineman, Hodges Tomlinson, and a couple others in the defense. That's a lot of leadership and a lot of points, a lot of yards, a lot of playmakers who kept that team going. Um, how does Sonny Dykes and that staff and that team get off the mat? Because the last time everybody saw them, they got steamrolled. They got beat in the Big 12 title game. All they are is Fiesta Bowl champions. They didn't win a national championship, and they didn't even win their own conference. And they lost all this talent. It feels empty, and it's like, where are they? Are we caring about them just because they were a national finalist, or are we putting them there because they're actually truly legit? I don't really know what this team is going to present. Everyone's going to be gunning for them. They had the ball bounce their way every single possible time last year, except for the national title game. Where are they going to get the breaks from? Where are they going to get the points from? Where are they going to get the yards from this season? That offense produced 455 yards a game and a conference leading 38.8 points a game. Where is that right now? How is that going to be replicated? I find it very tough to believe. Oklahoma is going to be better. Texas is going to be better. Texas Tech is going to be better. Baylor's always going to give them fits. Where are they going to get those points and that yards from? The defense was okay, and the defense lost some talent. They gave 25 points a game. That was fourth in the Big 12. They gave it 385 yards a game, which was fifth. But where are they going to get those stops? And more importantly, where are they going to get the yards and the points from? That's the biggest question right now with Sonny Dykes. Is he a flash in the pan? Was this team just everybody on the same page and luck with them the entire time? Because, like I mentioned before, you had an 8-point win at SMU, an 8-point win at SMU, 7-point win at Kansas, double OT win versus Oklahoma State, comeback versus Kansas State in the regular season, 7-point win at Texas, the game-winning field goal was running on while basically clock was expiring at Baylor. All the situations don't happen to play out the way they do. This team is 8 wins maybe, and we're not talking about it. They're just a team. They had luck on their side. Can they keep that momentum in that? Can they keep it funky? That's the biggest it factor going forward this season. I'm not too sure. I could see him starting out 6-1 and even 7-0, but then the bottom 5 of the schedule is where we're going to know the truth of this team, because the front end of the schedule, not much of a challenge. The back end is where they get K-State, Texas Tech, Texas, Baylor, and Oklahoma. They can start at 7-0 and finish 7-5. It's going to come on Sonny Dykes keeping this team organized. Where's his true coaching prowess? I did an article about him. He's had some great success as a group of 5 guy. This year being his first year at TCU last year, and then at Cal he really struggled. What kind of coach is Sonny Dykes? Is he a great group of 5 coach? Got lucky last year and just an average Power 5 coach? We're going to find out what kind of team he puts together, because the Big 12, we've seen the past 2 years, been 4 different teams playing for the title, and it's a wide open thing. And I got a feeling Texas is going to be a lot better. Oklahoma's going to give you more fits. This is going to be tough for TCU to really rebound and keep the momentum as an elite team. I see they could finish with 9 wins as a ceiling, nothing higher than that. But they could also finish with 6 wins in the bottom and just barely make it through the first half of the year undefeated and then cank out the rest of the way. It's going to take a lot. The Big 12 is always crazy. I just want to. I want to see what kind of offense we get from Sonny Dykes and what type of players are coming back on this squad and how that will be a project for this football team. But I'm thinking anywhere between 9 wins and 6 wins for TCU.
Yeah, Chandler Morris is going to get another shot to lead the Horned Frogs there. And what are we going to get out of him? That's the number one question I have. Max Duggan was like one of the best stories in all of college football there. They do have some interesting transfers. They got Trey Sanders in the transfer portal from Alabama, JoJo Early, wide receiver from Alabama, Tommy Brockmeyer, another transfer offensive tackle from Alabama. Those are 3 big-time transfers. And then on top of that, you take a look at a cornerback like Avery Helm, who's coming over there from Florida, another big-time guy. Caleb Medford leaves here. So you take a look at Chandler Morris. Yeah, there's a lot too many unknowns for me because I think that the fact that you're losing Quentin Johnson, you're losing Tay Barber, you're losing Darius Davis, your top three wide receivers from last year are all in the NFL now. So, what is this offense going to look like? You take a look at someone like Kendra Miller. He's gone. So who's going to run the football? So it's so hard for me to like sit here and be like all real excited about something because there's so many things unknown. Is Trey Sanders going to be like one of those guys that transfer from that top tier program and then just all of a sudden lights it up at a place like TCU? Maybe, maybe not. There's a reason that I don't think Alabama was holding on to him and saying like you have to stay here, but maybe he needs a place like TCU. I'm looking at this schedule fresh, and a lot of people are gonna circle a couple of games here. Week 1 versus Colorado is going to be a marquee game in name only, really there, just because Coach Dion is over there at Colorado. TCU making the national title game last year. People are going to have some buy-in. That's a 12 o'clock kickoff over there on Fox. Interesting game to start off the season. Then you take a look at Nichols at Houston. Houston was an 8-win team last year. SMU, 7-win team. West Virginia, you don't have to go into Morgantown. You do have to go over to Ames, Iowa for Iowa State. I'm not yet, but Matt Campbell is really good when there's no expectations on him. So Iowa State could be tough. But again, like you said, that back half of the schedule is absolutely brutal. You got to go to Kansas State and Manhattan, Kansas in late October. Then you got at Texas Tech, the Longhorns come into town, the Baylor Bears come into town, and then you end the season going into Norman to face the Sooners. You're right there, Fresh. You could seriously see these guys have 7-0, 8-0, and then all of a sudden the wheels fall off. I think they're going to take a step backwards. There's too many unknowns for me. I'm going my floor. I actually have them missing a bowl game. I'm going to say my floor is 5 wins, but that's a lot of talent come from other programs. Though, just like you said with LSU and those guys who play cornerback at LSU on the depth chart, there's talent there. Same thing with people coming off of the Alabama program. There is talent in those transfer guys. So again, they could catch lightning in the bottle. And realistically, the difference between this being a 10-2 team is you got to pull 2 upsets out of K-State, Texas Tech, Texas, and Oklahoma. I think as long as you go 2-2 in those 4 games, this could be a 10-win team. So I have a huge range for this team, anywhere from 5 wins all the way up to 10.
I mean, we could be literally having the same conversation this upcoming season we did last year. We get to late October, early November of TCU's undefeated. Are they really worthy of being a top 5 team? Are they that great? And then every week, every play, we're analyzing to see, are they truly that fantastic? And do they come out winning or losing? And you sort of playing that game of what if, or, man, they're okay. They don't pass the eye test, but their record says what they are. It has that kind of feel where if they do get that momentum going the right, and they somehow get some bounces late, we still have that exact repeat that we had in 2022.
Yeah. All right, Fresh, let's go to our number 27